Brainy presents 10 signs it's time to end all contact, even if it's family or friends. Ideally, relationships should serve as a source of comfort and stability. However, when these bonds start to fray and become sources of distress, it's necessary to reevaluate their place in our lives. This realization can be somber and daunting, but figuring out when to let go, even if it means cutting ties with family or friends, is an essential step toward a healthier, happier you. Here are some key indicators that it is time to say goodbye to a relationship that's no longer serving you well. Number 1. One-sided effort. In any healthy relationship, effort must be reciprocal. When one person continuously invests time and effort into sustaining the connection while the other doesn't even lift a finger, it creates an imbalance. If you're doing all the heavy lifting, always reaching out, making plans, and trying to keep things together, you'll inevitably end up feeling worn out and undervalued. The persistent struggle to keep the relationship afloat without having your efforts matched is emotionally taxing and simply not worth it. Number 2. Constant conflict. In many relationships that are falling apart, the presence of constant conflict is undeniable. If you're embroiled in frequent arguments over the same issues without ever reaching a resolution, it could indicate a deeper, unresolvable incompatibility. These recurring disputes often reveal a lack of willingness to compromise, suggesting that one or both parties might be more invested in being right than in finding common ground. Such ongoing tension can severely impact your mental health and cause a lot of stress and anxiety. Number 3. Resentment and bitterness. When conflicts persist without resolution, it breeds resentment and bitterness. Holding on to past grievances creates a toxic environment and prevents any possibility of moving forward. These lingering feelings turn every interaction into a battleground and make it impossible to enjoy each other's company. When grudges and bitterness dominate, they overshadow any positive aspects, and the relationship becomes more harmful than beneficial. Number 4. Clashing priorities and values. As people grow and change, their priorities and values often evolve too, and this can affect any type of relationship, friendships, family connections, or romantic partnerships. When these changes lead to drastically differing life goals and core values, it tends to cause friction and misunderstandings. For instance, you might find that what once bonded you together now drives you apart. These conflicting priorities often create a sense of living in two different worlds, which makes it difficult to maintain a solid and supportive relationship. Number 5. Lack of communication. When communication breaks down, it's a striking clue that something's off. If your conversations have dwindled to small talk, or you're avoiding deep discussions altogether, there's a serious disconnect. When deeper concerns are left unspoken, they fester beneath the surface and slowly weaken the connection between you. The emotional distance can create a palpable sense of loneliness, even in the presence of the other person. It becomes a stark reminder of the growing chasm that words can no longer bridge. Number 6. Abusive behavior. The presence of abuse in any form, from emotional manipulation and control to physical violence, signifies a relationship that is fundamentally unhealthy and unsafe. Such behavior is not only detrimental to your emotional and physical well-being, but can also have long-lasting psychological effects. That's because continuous exposure to abuse gradually grinds down your self-esteem and entangles you in a relentless cycle of fear and reliance. Number 7. Loss of trust. Repeated betrayal or continuous dishonesty destroys the very essence of trust in a relationship. Whether it's a friend who consistently lets you down, or a family member who hides important information from you, the inability to trust can be a clear indication that the relationship is no longer healthy. The ensuing sense of insecurity and doubt forms a rather unstable and unhealthy dynamic, and the psychological impact of living with endless suspicion is deeply damaging. The effort required to continuously monitor and question the other person's actions will just trap you in a perpetual state of unease. Number 8. Emotional disconnection. Feeling emotionally disconnected from someone is a clear sign that the relationship is in trouble. This can manifest as indifference or a lack of enthusiasm to spend time together. As emotional disconnection deepens, it casts a shadow over every interaction, transforming what should be moments of joy into mere obligations. the relationship starts to feel like an anchor that's weighing down your spirit. And over time, this lack of emotional engagement builds a void that is impossible to fill. Number 9. Lack of support. It's a tough pill to swallow when you realize that a person you rely on isn't there for you in your toughest times. During your struggles, their absence becomes glaringly obvious, and their lack of support is a giant red flag. In moments when you need encouragement, advice, or just a shoulder to cry on, having someone consistently fail to show up is incredibly disheartening, to say the least. This pattern of behavior suggests that the relationship is clearly not as solid or supportive as it should be. Number 10. Feeling drained after interactions. There's no way to dance around it. If a relationship consistently depletes your energy and leaves you emotionally drained, it's a strong indicator that it's time to move on. When every interaction makes you more stressed, anxious, or unhappy, it's quite evident that the relationship is taking a serious toll on your mental health. And the constant strain of such a relationship affects all areas of your life, from work to your personal happiness. How much longer are you going to take it? Look, deciding to end a relationship, especially with family or close friends, is a heart-wrenching and difficult choice. It requires a deep understanding of your own needs and boundaries, and the courage to prioritize yourself. But ultimately, ending a toxic relationship is an act of self-care. It opens up the opportunity for healthier connections that provide genuine support, joy, and mutual respect. While the process may be painful and fraught with emotional challenges, the long-term benefits are priceless. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share with your friends so we can keep making them. For more videos like this, hit the subscribe button and don't forget to click on the notification bell. That way you'll get notified of our next post. Also, to learn more about many other interesting topics, be sure to check out our other videos as well. Thanks for watching.